First of all, the source is page 6, so okay. So, Daniel Kaluuya, Lord, if I didn't say his last name right, y'all forgive me. I do love this man. But if you're not familiar, British actor, Google him. Anyway, because I'm not here to give y'all a background. So, Daniel Kaluuya appears to be entangled with a spiritualist, a life strategist, self-proclaimed life coach, life strategist, and spiritual healer who goes by the moniker of Heir Holiness. And he may be getting exploited, or he may like what's happening. We don't know this man personally, so we don't know what's going on in his life. All that we can do are read the reports of these alleged insiders, people in his life who are concerned about recent changes in behavior, mood, and reasoning. So if you haven't read the page 6 article, what I'm going to do here is actually kind of go through it with you all, but take some pauses. But before I even start to go through it, I want to talk about how y'all respond to finding out that, especially when it comes to successful in the way that we view it in capitalism in America. That's another video, but I want to talk about the way that y'all respond to finding out that Black people, especially really wealthy, well-known Black folks, successful Black folks, how y'all respond to finding out that they dibble and dabble in what you all want to call the occult. Ooh, the occult. First of all, he's African. So I don't find it. And when I say he's African, he knows where he's from in Africa. Whereas I too am African, but I don't know where I'm from in Africa, right? So I'm a Black American. Okay. So first of all, it shouldn't really be surprising to any of you that he dibbles and dabbles in this, or has even gone to the lengths of having a spiritual guide with him. Now, to the extent where it seems, what we can tell from this page 6 article and tweets from others, is that this woman is actually kind of with him, like literally physically near him. If not at all times, at most times. So I don't know if others are going to that extent all the time, but I also know that that's not an unusual thing to do. But y'all have this really sort of nasty response. And I'm not talking about his, because this is a different situation, but I'm talking about in general. Y'all have this sort of really nasty response when it comes to finding out a Black person does more than just go to church and pray to God. That they may do tarot, that they self-identify as hoodoo, or that they call themselves spiritual and have conversations with and engage with people who also are spiritualists and walk these paths as well. Y'all go from, we're concerned, to this is what happens when y'all play with the devil. And it's can we have a more nuanced conversation? That's why I said what may be happening to Daniel absolutely could be exploitation, but also we don't know this man, so he may like what's happening. He also may be 1,000% in his right mind and is making the choices that he wishes to make. We also don't know Heir Holiness, and I'm not making this video to defend what it seems she's doing or even defend Daniel. I just really wanted to use them in this particular event as the catalyst for a larger conversation, because what I'm seeing on Twitter in response to this are very few tweets or takes about how this really could be exploitation. There's a conversation to colorism we need to address here. There's probably some manipulation, and there's a predatory nature behind it. And yes, y'all, it absolutely can be considered predatory because he's 33 and this woman, from reports, seems to be at least a good 15, 20 years his senior. So she is in her early 50s or just 50. A 33-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman can absolutely be a predatory relationship. And even more so when you look at who Daniel is as a person and where he is in his life and what his life was before that, at least details he shared with us, right? He didn't come up with no easy life, bottle fed, spoon fed, silver spoon, all of that, beautiful linings, right? We know he doesn't have that sort of an upbringing. He's been quite vocal and open to the public about it, to an extent. And so, yes, what this woman appears to be doing is taking advantage of a young black man who is finding himself in an industry, which is Hollywood, as an actor that historically is not kind to people like him. And he has a lot of money, which means he probably does go through quite a bit of woes just in the terms of what to even do with his wealth and how to move forward and how to build a sustainable career for himself. Because acting, especially the kind of acting Daniel does, he doesn't really do much television. He does more film. That is not always a reliable source of income. You can have a heck of a role for a year or two and be in a bunch of films, and then for like 5 years, you might not get you a big role like that. So you have to have alternative measures in place, and you do want to have people guiding you on that journey. And again, it appears that this woman may be taking advantage of his true lack of knowledge of what to do in these spaces. This is why I am a huge advocate and proponent for Black people, like, sharing as much as they can with other Black folks who are in these spaces with them. Like, honestly, y'all, the questions I want to ask is why Daniel feels that Heir Holiness is the only person he can turn to make these choices, right? It's being reported, again, by Page 6 by, again, alleged insiders. We don't know who these people are. They're not naming sources. So all of this also could be completely fabricated by folks who just don't like Heir Holiness and Daniel, right? Like, we don't know. Like, we literally don't know. We don't know. But again, I'm using this example just as a catalyst for larger conversation. But, why does he feel, that's my question, why does he feel that Heir Holiness is the only person that he could go to, right, to be receiving guidance in that way? Like, are the other Black men around him who are just as successful, who are in his circle, who are even more successful, are those Black men not reaching out to him enough and asking him if he needs help, right? Daniel, I think, now is stateside. He's based in California, I think, more so than he is back at home in London. So his family, his real close friends, folks he grew up with are not by his side anymore like they used to be 24/7, which is why I brought up the conversation of it could absolutely be predatory because he's away from his family and friends, people he grew up with, people that know him. Sure, they can all call him and reach out and send a text and send a message and a DM, but that's different. That's different from being able to be physically near Daniel, right, at all times and really be able to see what's going on. Like, yes, y'all can argue, he's a grown man, da-da-da-da. Sure, but, come on, we have to have a little more grace for our Black folks. Like, he's a grown man in an industry that literally never wants anyone who looks like him to be successful at all, right? And he's trying to navigate that. And for the most part, he's kind of doing it alone. Like, he had his agents and everything like that. He had a team that he built that it seems like Heir Holiness has, I guess, advised him to do away with that team and perhaps get a new team, or not get a new team, just make her his team. And that is, yes, I could see how that could be worrisome to people around him, especially if she's a newer addition of a person in his life. But let's get into the article. So, British actor Daniel Kaluuya, who won Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars last year, 2021, for his role in Judas and the Black Messiah, is beloved in Hollywood as a down-to-earth guy, but insiders, people we don't know, y'all, are concerned after he has jettisoned his agents, publicists, and seems to be under the influence of a charismatic life strategist. Now, first of all, I want to start off by saying this. I don't like the language of this article. I don't like the tone of it. There's a way to express concern and to write about what because we don't know, right? There's a way to express concern in what may be happening to Daniel and the action that this woman may be taking that could be read as or might very well be predatory and manipulative without sounding so demeaning or really making this Black woman seem crazy because she believes differently than they do. What I got, I'm going to continue, but I have to take a pause here. When I read this through the first time, it really came off as if it was like, can you believe Daniel Kaluuya, this rich Black man who should be so smart because he's from London and went to school and he can read, is messing with this crazy woo-woo Black woman who likes crystals and thinks they have power. Isn't that so silly? He's smarter than that. She's stupid. You weird crystal ass loving Negroes. That's really how this page 6 article reads. That I'm telling y'all, it reads like that. And I'm like, see now, baby, there's a way to say that y'all think this woman may be manipulating this man, taking advantage of him and isolating him in a very predatory way that is dangerous to himself and people around him without trying to be like, oh, well, what she believes in is stupid. No. Her actions are maybe bad, right? Her ethics can be bad, but don't lump her in with every other Black person who praises existence, right, in this realm in a different way than y'all are used to. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because like I said, Daniel is an African man. And he appears to be very much in touch with his indigenous beliefs and indigenous belief practices, right? And he also, I feel like, has been quite vocal about that he praises, right, the world, the Lord, existence of being a human being in different ways that are true to him. But this woman doesn't come from maybe that same traditional faith background that his family comes from, or that same indigenous background that his family comes from. And so that also might be why it's a little worrying, because it's like, this is very different from what we're used to, right? For the insiders who are reporting their concern for him. And there you have it. So Heir Holiness called herself Kaluuya's personal manager on a now deleted LinkedIn page seen by the Post. She has also described herself as headmistress for the international alma mater Blessed University. That's funny to me. I don't know. I just whatever. Like I said, I'm still critiquing this woman, but I also love when Black women are just like, I'm a badass bitch. Like, fuck y'all. So to be honest, we can't quite figure out who she is. We really have no clue as his team has shifted camps, says a well-placed source. The Post has confirmed from multiple sources that Heir was by Kaluuya's side as he filmed Nope, his second horror movie with director Jordan Peele after 2017's Get Out in California last summer. So what I was speaking to earlier, yes, it seems like this woman, Heir Holiness, is literally like physically with Daniel at most times, including on set. So, she's operating like a manager. As she said, she proclaimed herself, self-proclaimed, his life manager. So, okay. Last month, Matt Baloney of Puck News reported Holiness's behavior during the filming of Jordan Peele's Nope, in which Kaluuya stars, caused people on set to be concerned about her influence over the British actor. Okay. An insider reported that actor Daniel Kaluuya's reported personal manager, Heir Holiness, has taken over his life after on-set interactions with her. People on the Nope set were very concerned that Heir had taken over Daniel Kaluuya's life and all decisions had to go through her, said an industry insider. I've heard there were multiple blow-ups and the production people were afraid of her. A Hollywood source told the Post, was everyone a fair Heir on set? No. Puck also reported that Kaluuya, 33, has fired his powerful talent agents at CAA, which reps such A-listers as Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and Reese Witherspoon. He signed with the agency in 2018, shortly after filming Get Out. A CAA spokesperson told the Post, I can confirm that Daniel Kaluuya is not a client of the agency. So he most definitely has left his agency. Okay, That's concerning. I mean, if I was his friend or if I remember, I'd be like, now, baby, what you doing? Leaving your agency, sweetheart? You worked very hard to get repped. Why you don't want to be repped no more? Heir Holiness has marginalized Daniel Kaluuya's usual team, said the industry insider. Heir Holiness describes herself as just a spiritual gangster serving a life sentence in a human body. Okay. The actor also reportedly terminated his publicist at Shelter PR after a 4-year relationship that included his 2021 sweep of the Oscar, BAFTA, SAG, and Golden Globes. He be working, baby. He be getting them awards. He be acting. He does, however, maintain his longtime manager at Management 360 and his reps in London. Reps for Shelter, as well as his management company and new publicists at Rogers and Cowan PMK were unavailable for comment. Good for them, because we don't know what's going on, so I'm not giving y'all a comment yet. One source who knows Kaluuya well told the Post that the star had also sacked his stylist and multiple assistants at the behest of Heir Holiness. There are many actors and artists in Hollywood who work with spiritual advisors and use them for guidance and support, a movie insider noted. But him leaving his agency and his publicist, that's the unusual thing. It's kind of weird. A source who knows Kaluuya, who is single, believes the actor first met Heir Holiness on the set of the 2018 movie Black Panther. Now, see, did y'all catch that? A source who knows Kaluuya, who is single, so they're now trying to get you to think about it this way. Oh, has this older woman come in a deviant way into Kaluuya's life? Is she taking advantage of him in a romantic and sexual way in their relationship? They are insinuating that their relationship could be that. I don't like that. And I don't like that only because if you're going to write an article about what you feel could be possible manipulation, predatory behavior when it comes to this man's career and money and maybe his well-being, where his state of mind might be, then write that. Don't be like, they could be sleeping together. Don't insinuate. They insinuate that. A source who knows Kaluuya, who is single, what they got to do with the article? No, for real. If you want to write that article, write that article. What does that have to do with this? But anyway. Apparently, he was introduced to Heir Holiness through a makeup artist who is some sort of crystals guru, said the Kaluuya source. During the publicity run of Judas and the Black Messiah, Kaluuya will reportedly fly Holiness to Los Angeles from Las Vegas every week for spiritual healing, mental exercise, and a diet of herbal supplements to lose weight. When the source first heard of Heir, she was going by the name Heir Princess. The Post can reveal that her real name is I'm trying to pronounce it. Vanilla Salima Muhammad. I hope I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not. Her first name is spelled Vanylla and then Salima Muhammad. So she is 50. Okay. The 50-year-old hails from California and has at least 3 Twitter accounts, one of which is private. There's also an Instagram account messages like, I'm just a spiritual gangster serving a life sentence in a human body. The Kaluuya source revealed the actor who thanked God during his Oscar speech and Heir were so close during the publicity run of Judas and the Black Messiah that he would fly her to Los Angeles from Las Vegas every week for spiritual healing, mental exercise, and a diet of herbal supplements to lose weight. The Post has seen a photo of them cuddling up together on a hot air balloon ride with Kaluuya at Soho House in West Hollywood and celebrating his February 24th birthday at a bash thrown by British actor Damson Idris. Kaluuya was last known to be dating a woman based in New York City, but that has ended. According to sources who know him, one claimed that Heir may have influenced the breakup. An online bio for Heir Holiness states that she is skilled in wellness coaching, executive coaching, spiritual healing, energy healing, and building relationships. When contacted by the Post this week, a woman who confirmed that she is Heir Holiness denied working with or for Kaluuya and said she had only met him a few times. People are saying I work with Daniel Kaluuya, she said. I would love to work with Daniel Kaluuya. The woman, who said that her moniker was derived from a slave name, confirmed that she had run the international alma mater Blessed University before the pandemic. The International Alma Mater School of Ascension has called has called itself, an institution created to serve today's women in business with education and leadership, empowerment, and spiritual self-sufficiency as a foundation for excellence in life and business. A website for the school no longer works. So here's the thing. Page 6 says they reached out to this woman. Now, they show images of the woman in the article. They don't specify if the woman that they spoke to, who confirmed that she is Heir Holiness, looks like the woman whose images that they are showing, stating this is Heir Holiness. So the woman that we're seeing pictures of, whose name that they've given out, and I think this is the conclusion they want you to come to, right, from their language. The images of the woman that they are showing us and the woman whose name they're giving out and the woman who they have seen pictured with Daniel Kaluuya, who references herself and goes by Heir Holiness, may be taking on someone else's personality and assuming the role of a now defunct business. Okay, so sit with that. An online bio for her states that she has a BS, MS, and PhD in holistic health, parapsychic science from the American Institute of Holistic Theology. It adds that she is skilled in wellness coaching, executive coaching, spiritual healing, energy healing, and building relationships, among other things. I want you to know that all of that is very real, though. Like, everything I read to you, like, you can become a, like, certified, trained, like, life coach. You can become a wellness coach. You can become a spiritual healer. Like, people do go to school for that. People do take classes for that. People do enroll in programs and get certified to do these things. Like, those are real things you can actually pursue as a career path. The question is, has this woman actually done that, or is she assuming the role of someone else who has? A Hollywood insider who has met Heir said that she is a great, colorful character, adding that she runs Kaluuya's day-to-day life, but has no jurisdiction over his work. So now you see what's happening here. Now we have, that's what I'm saying, like, these quote-unquote super concerned people in his camp could also be folks who just don't like her, who maybe they needed to get removed out of his life. I don't know. Or maybe they didn't, and that's what I'm, like, the thing is, I'm just seeing folks run with this story, and they are like bashing Daniel in the sense of being like, he a grown man, how he don't know better, that he getting used and abused and taken advantage of, or she's a grown ass woman, you know, why she's still into crystals and all of that woo shit, that's stupid, and you know, she's just a cougar. Like, and I get that, I get all of that critique, and I definitely understand it. I'm just saying, I don't, one, think it's that simple, and I, two, think that when situations like this are happening on what we call the world stage, right? So when things like this are happening publicly, Black people, I want Black people to have more compassionate conversations about what's happening. I don't know if all that's happening to Daniel, all that's reported to be happening to Daniel is okay. But I also don't have any hard facts, evidence, don't know this man in real life, right? So who am I? I'm just reporting on a page 6 story. But Daniel Kaluuya is 33 years old, right? And this woman also is 50. For all intents and purposes, as far as we know, Daniel Kaluuya is in his right state of mind. So, you know, the choices that he is making are the choices he wants to make. If he has decided to trust this woman with his career and his day-to-day, okay. I hope that he's doing it with the very best of intentions, and I hope she is as well. And we all only want to see, you know, the best for him and success. But yeah, I do think it's important for us to use this scenario, so to speak, as a catalyst for a larger conversation, because I do think that it can still be considered predatory for a 50-year-old woman to be close to this 33-year-old man in such a way where it seems to be causing concern for people in his life. But also, Daniel Kaluuya is 33, right? He's an adult. And if he really is experiencing something that might be making him act out in a way that is proving to be detrimental to himself, I hope that he will realize it. And if this woman steps over a line, right, crosses a boundary, I would hope that those in his life feel empowered to do whatever is necessary to be done to get him to see that he may be falling victim to, I don't know, manipulation and predatory behaviors, But again, we don't know. I'm just, using this as a catalyst for a larger conversation. Kaluuya was born in London to Ugandan parents, Stephen Kaluuya and Daniel Kaluuya. They split after his birth, and his mom raised him and his older sister in public housing. And then in 2018, Kaluuya told the New York Times that he did not connect with his father's family until he was about 15 years old. His father is believed to be an NHS worker living in the UK. Kaluuya says, I went to a Catholic boys' school in North London called St. Alois. It was a boisterous school, man, a lot of fighting energy. Kaluuya told Vice in 2017, there was a time where we had all year detention where the school would lock up our whole grade because there were fights and knife crime. Kaluuya wrote his first play at 9 years old and went on to appear on a laundry list of TV, including Skins. Yeah, that's where I know him from, Skins. He has said he battled for his breakout role in Get Out, telling Vice, the way I've been brought up was similar to the African-American narrative. I was working class. I had to fight for this, and I had to outwork everyone in order to get anywhere, anything. So I wanted to take another pause here. So sometimes we don't have this conversation enough. When people like Kaluuya start to experience success in the way that he is, there is a real genuine fear of, how do I keep it all? Not only how do I keep it all going, but just how do I keep it all? Just how do I sustain it? And also, what do I do with it? And by taking the route of getting a spiritual healer and a spiritual guide and life coach, Kaluuya may be doing what he feels is right to him ancestrally, right? He's from Uganda, and it's not uncommon for Ugandans, right, to have a more spiritual approach to what they're doing in life. And he might feel, okay, well, I've been so blessed. These blessings that have been bestowed upon me, right? I need to make sure that I'm handling them well beyond, asking my agent, right, what to do and what are the best investments, right? I need a spiritual wellness check. I want a more holistic approach to my success so I can understand that. And again, I'm just going off of what's been written here in this page 6 article, right? He could be starting to experience some fear in his career. He's been around for a while now, right? He's been doing this for a while, but he wasn't, I saw him first on Skins, right? But Skins, at least for the American audience, was not his big role, right? Get Out was Daniel Kaluuya's moment internationally and put him on that stage. So that's only been for a short while. 2017, it's been 5 years, which sounds like a long time, but not really. We've seen actors come and go in 5 years. They have a good run and then they don't get nothing else. And then we just don't hear from them again. And maybe every now and then they're on someone's TV show as a guest star, but they don't really sustain this career. Daniel Kaluuya gives me the energy that he's looking to have a Denzel Washington type of career. And that takes a lot of work. Spiritually, that takes, right, a lot of work. And so he may feel that he's getting in front of it all, right, by having someone like Heir Holiness by his side. But it's just maybe Heir Holiness isn't the right person, or maybe she is. We don't know. And I also want us to all get more comfortable saying, we don't know what's going on, right? All we know is what's being reported. And so here's what we can deduce from what's being reported. And at the end of the day, all we want is success and blessings for this man, right? Right. So I want you all to just think about how you are responding to this scenario in Daniel Kaluuya's life right now. This title, Insiders Worried About Actor Daniel Kaluuya's Ties to Life Strategist. I don't know. I just feel like there's this undertone, and it's not just because of the quotes from the insiders, because those are direct quotes. So they said what they said, right? But there just seems to kind of be this undertone of just It's kind of weird though, right? Like, isn't it strange? Is life strategist mess? Like, I feel like they try to throw in that quote of being like, oh, well, I mean, plenty of people in Hollywood have, spiritualists and wellness gurus, but not like this. This is like super strange. But I'm like, okay, y'all, I don't know. White folks be talking about they be having their spiritual wellness person told them to walk around naked and sit with their booty to the air. I don't know. There's an undertone that I don't like. And there's a way that we're responding as a collective that I don't like. I just want us to really just focus on the conversation of there may be, possibly, allegedly, there may be some manipulation, some coercion, and some predatory things happening to this young black man. And if there are, we want to make people aware of how to spot and identify those behaviors and patterns. Because it doesn't matter who you are. You could be Daniel Kaluuya, rich, famous, wealthy actor, or you could be just meeting somebody new for the first time, right? You have to really be aware of what people's intentions are for you in their lives. Seriously. You need to open your eyeballs and ask yourself, what are this person's intentions for me in their life? Because what are her intentions for Daniel Kaluuya in her life? I absolutely don't want to see a headline a month from now that says she has somehow swindled and bamboozled this man out of daggone everything, and now he's trying to rebuild himself in his career. But also we could see a freaking report from now that everything is on the up and up, and this woman has totally transformed and helped his life. Now, what do I think? Because I know I've been going back and forth and everything. I think it's a little predatory. I do. I think it's a little predatory. I do apologize if anything does come off ageist. That is absolutely not my intent, but I know intent does not negate impact. I just do believe that it is a bit predatory for this woman to be seeming to attach herself to Daniel in this way and isolating him from people who, for all intents and purposes, what we're aware of, worked very hard for him in his career and do genuinely care about him. Not just his success, but Daniel. They care about Daniel as a man, as a person. So I wish nothing but the best for him and for her as well. I really do hope that everything is kosher in that relationship. And yeah, but if these sources and people in his camp are just bad-mouthing sister because they just feel like she got too much power and they don't get it. They don't get the holistic spiritualness of it all. I don't like that. Don't do that. And if those people in his camp are also concerned because maybe she's brought it to his attention that, hey, look, I know they've been around you for a couple of years and they may have absolutely helped you reach new heights, but these people are not really here for you because here's how they're about to start moving. And I'm saying that because I've had my own experiences of that. And maybe this scenario is a little triggering for me because I see it from both angles. I see it from both angles. I come from a family where people in my family are sports professionals, NBA, actors, I know a little bit about that world, that Hollywood and that sports and that modeling, the industry, right? We just call it the industry. I've seen some of this stuff, so you got to just take everything with a grain of salt, right? Everything is not what it seems. You got to take everything with a grain of salt. And at the end of the day, if Daniel's not worried, then okay. But let's just all send that brother, let's just all send that brother some good vibrations. Because I'm sure for him to even see this Page 6 article, right now, it could be a key. He could be laughing it off, but he's a human being. I'm not going to claim that I know how this man's feelings operate, but he's a human being. And I'm sure that even after laughing at the article because they don't know and, it's just strangers reporting on whatever, it probably is a little bit worrisome because he probably doesn't know who these people in his camp are, right? Who have decided to come forward and share their concerns. I would really hope that everybody who has gone to Page 6 or anywhere else to share their concerns about Daniel have gone to Daniel himself. But yeah, I don't think we've seen any sort of public outcries or changes in behavior and reasoning or anything that would be concerning to the public. That would really make it oh, I don't know, man, he might be going through it. But yeah, I just wanted to say something about it because I don't know, y'all are responding kind of nasty to this, and mostly because of this holistic spiritualist aspect, and I don't like it. Now, let me just be really, really clear. I think something a little strange may be going on there, and it has nothing to do with the fact of the spiritual practices and beliefs. It has everything to do with the fact that this woman may be preying on this young man because he may be experiencing a vulnerable time right now, and that's just not okay. Other than that, though, it's his business, not ours. And whoever these people are that came forward about their concerns, I hope y'all spoke to Daniel first before y'all went to Page 6 and everywhere else. That's all that I'm saying. I love Daniel, though. I love his work. I hope that he is receiving the spiritual guidance that he needs, and I wish him all the very best in abundance. And I do to her as well. It's really their lives right now. It does seem a little by this article and how they've written it. But I've also told you the way that they wrote this is a little, what they want you to think is a little not kosher. And I'm like, I don't really know. We only got this one story right now. And it was written by, let me see, who's the person that wrote it? Sarah Nathan. Who's Sarah Nathan? They got a picture of Sarah Nathan? They don't. Oh, they do. So it's also written by a white lady. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be moving kind of anyway. So, yeah, y'all send that brother some love. Send that brother some good vibrations. And I will definitely be going to see Nope. I don't like movies like that, but I will support. I liked Get Out, but I didn't like that movie I don't like movies I don't like horror, suspense. I don't like it. I don't like that genre at all, but I support my people. So I do go to the movie theater, and yes, I do close my eyes. I don't care what y'all say. Shut up.